25CR008561, State versus Veronica Callahan. Can I have parties announced?
Sworn Espinosa for the state.
Matthew Allen for Miss Callahan.
And are you Miss Callahan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on January 27th. According to your plea, the state was proceeding on count one, waiving the enhancements. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,200 fine. The state is opposed to your application. They're taking in consideration 2025 CR 014278. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any objections?
None from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Any objections to the court reviewing the PSI and TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge, sorry.
All right, and state you're opposed. Do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, just briefly.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. Just argument as well.
Right, just give me a moment. All right. State, you may proceed.
Your Honor, we ask that you deny Ms. Callahan's applications and sentence to a cap of 6 years in the prison. Ms. Callahan has criminal history. She's been convicted of 2 DWIs, a manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance, PG1, as well as the possession of a controlled substance, PG1, 4 to 200 grams, as well as another possession in 2016. Of these cases, she's been granted probation in 4 of these, 3 of which she was granted probation resulted in motions to revoke and sentencing either into the respective Bexar County Jail or TDC. Ms. Callahan has been given chances on these probations and ultimately cannot comport her behavior to comply with the rules and conditions laid out before her. Based on the PSI and TAP, Ms. Callahan's in the pre-contemplation stage. We can see her when she recounts the facts of this underlying case. She essentially blames the officer. She said that she drove away because he reached his hand inside of her vehicle without providing a reason for the stop. However, she was afforded that explanation that it was because of expired registration. It was only because of her action of not cooperating with turning over her ID and identifying herself that the officer attempted to open the door to assist her out of the vehicle for non-compliance. She then drove off, and it was only after her vehicle was spiked, the rear tires had blown out, and there were multiple patrol units following, both marked and unmarked, that Ms. Callahan stopped. Once she stopped, she still did not comply. She refused to get out of the vehicle and had to be assisted out by officers. Your Honor, Ms. Callahan alleges that she has ceased majority of her drug usage throughout her life. However, I think it's perplexing that she expects the court or asks the court to believe that she has no usage. She merely just possesses narcotics. So because of these reasons, Judge, we'd ask that you deny her applications and sentence to a cap of 6 years.
Yes, Your Honor. The criminal history is what it is. So she was on parole. She completed that. As far as the instant offense, it's not a drug case. It's an evading arrest case. Her recitation of the facts are just that. It's a recitation. It doesn't say, I'm not guilty of evading arrest because the officer reached into the vehicle. It's just her recounting what happened. Obviously, she's here because she's taking responsibility. She called the police even when she was driving, and we've had multiple conversations. 1, you can't take off when a police officer is there. 2, if you did, when you call the police and there's multiple other officers there, you pull off to the side of the road. You don't get to choose where you stop. And she understands that. She understands that, takes responsibility. That's why she's here today. She's not saying I didn't evade arrest or that there was some legal reason why I was able to not comply with the officer's commands. And that's why she's here, because she took a plea to accept responsibility. Since she's been out now, as far as the PSI goes, it says here, current address. She actually does now have a stable address here in San Antonio, Texas. So she's not homeless, which helps with obviously trying to.
Why didn't you pull over?
The reason she didn't pull over is because she didn't feel that the officer explained anything. She thought she just got pulled over, and then he was reaching his hands into the vehicle. She felt unsafe. That's why she left and called the police herself.
So why did they have to put spikes down?
Again, that's because she was then trying to say, well, she was going to feel safe if she went to her house. So she's not driving at a high rate of speed, but we've had that conversation before. And so something from probation would be like a cognitive course, and thinking and critical decision making, because obviously that's an error in judgment. And that's a mistake. That's why she's here. As far as she does have a stable home, she actually has two jobs. One is a home health care worker, and I know the court sometimes does not allow people, but she has another job where she helps remodel a business for a man named James. She provided a letter from him to probation as well. So we have talked about this court and home health care working, and that's why she has another job set up and is already working that. Like I said, her housing, she actually had a trailer where she paid an individual $4,000 to live there. Well, that individual is not there any longer, and his wife is not agreeing with that. So she lost out on that money, but again, she's found other places. Mental health, she had been diagnosed a long time ago with manic depressant and bipolar. Again, she is working. She has support here. Paul Dickens is here in the courtroom, and he shows up. She showed up to court yesterday because she's heard this court say, do not show up late. She showed up a day early. She takes this case seriously. I don't see how sending her to prison sends any message or helps anybody. Again, she can take drug tests. She can work. She has housing. She can take a cognitive course. She can do a mental health evaluation. She even explained about that some of these things during the interview, she was crying because it was bringing up past things. And so she tried to be open and honest about it, about her past. And so again, they cognitive behavioral therapy, again, there's some adverse childhood experiences. She has had a pretty good childhood. I just think that the court can put conditions in place that allows Miss Callahan to continue to support herself, get better, and protect the community all at once. And so we're asking this court to give Miss Callahan just an opportunity to go on probation. Understand she had been on probation a while back and didn't take advantage of that. But she is a different individual here today. She wants to take responsibility. She does want to show the court and herself and her support system that she can follow this court's orders.
May I answer the question
About
the reason of
Do y'all need to step back?
well, when that's the child is the reason being was that it was
Yeah. So she had conversations with the supervisor of SAPD about the interaction and some of the ways that were done. And so, but again, that's after the fact. That doesn't absolve her from it. But she has tried to take responsibility, examine herself and her responsibility in that situation. And obviously she was wrong, and that's why she's here today.
State?
Your Honor, I would just ask the court to deny applications. Ms. Callahan when asked how supervision would help her first statement was, it would definitely help me so I don't lose my freedom. I think that's what is exhibited here. Ms. Callahan thinks her freedom is more important than the law. She thinks that she can flee because she feels unsafe. And at what point are we to show Ms. Callahan that you must comport and comply, and you can't keep running from things because you think you're right? So I don't believe she would be a good applicant or candidate for any sort of probation judge. And while this court may and will probably be able to accommodate and target some of the issues Ms. Callahan experiences, I don't think she is deserving of that chance because she's shown she cannot comply.
All right. Anything you wish to say? I mean, if you want to say something, then I'll have to put you under oath. State will have a chance to ask questions.
I just know that
All right. No.
no,
Do you want,
I don't want to.
Okay. No, Your Honor.
you're sure? Ms. Callahan, what I'm telling you, if there's something you want to say to me, then what I have to do is I have to swear you in. And then I will listen to whatever you want to say to me, but the state will have an opportunity to ask you questions as well.
Mhm.
So do you need to speak with her concerning that, counsel?
No, Your Honor, we've spoken about it, and no, she doesn't wish to talk other than what I've explained, and what she said.
All right, Ms. Callahan, I reviewed the PSI, the TAP evaluation. I've listened to your attorney and listened to the state. I just don't think you're a good candidate for probation. Okay. I'm going to find you guilty, taking consideration 2025 CR 014278. There's a $1,200 fine, time and money run concurrent. I'll request the therapeutic community and I'll sentence you to 3 years in the prison and give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, good luck to you. 013676, State versus Jesus Visual. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Jason Wolf for defense.
And are you Mr. Visual?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the docket for a moment. We're back on the record. I'm sorry, could you all re-announce?
Lauren Espinoza for the state.
Jason Wolf for defense.
All right, and you're Mr. Vigil.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Vigil, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it
Yes, Your Honor.
and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Vigil, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with tampering or fabricating physical evidence with intent to impair. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow it. If the court does not follow it and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
If the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor. I do.
Mr. Vigil, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. The state is opposed to your application for deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2025 CR 014681 and 2025 CR 013676. There's restitution of $180 to DPS for lab testing. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
It is, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation. There's to be no firearms or ammunition. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Receipts exhibit 1 and all attachments.
I reviewed those with my client, Your Honor. We have no objections.
All right, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it, sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Judge, we would like a PSI since they are opposed to deferred unless the court doesn't feel it needs that to.
So do you want to
Deferred, then
proceed?
no, I'd love
Okay.
to proceed if we can.
All right. State you're opposed to the application for deferred adjudication?
Yes, Judge, we're opposed based on the underlying facts. There was a search warrant for the location. Additionally, the home that Mr. Vigil was in contained a variety of narcotics as well as firearms. Judge, he has had prior encounters with law enforcement. However, I see that he was previously on deferred for a less than a gram and that expired. So just based on his, I guess, small criminal history past, I would be opposed to allowing him deferred again, but state does recommend him for community supervision.
All right. Who is Marissa Gallardo?
That would be my wife.
All right. Do you have minors living in your household?
I do.
And what are their ages?
4 years old.
And are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you a choice. These are only 2 choices. There are no other choices on the table, so don't ask for any.
Okay.
All right. 1, I find you guilty. I'll sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. Or 2, I grant your application for deferred because I know that you're an electrician now. And I will grant your deferred for 8 years.
Judge, can we take window number 2? I'd say door number 2.
I agree. Door number 2.
And I think, Judge, he'll show that he'd be successful. He'll get all of this completed ahead of time. He has working 14, 15 hours. He's changed his life. He's on the better path. In fact, he had a coworker that was electrocuted just the other day, and he conducted CPR until help was able to arrive, and the guy made a recovery. So he's knows the wrongfulness of his choices. We appreciate you granting deferred, and he'll be successful, Judge.
3 years. Not the maximum, but not freedom either. This is what courts call a measured sentence, punishment, but with a pathway to rehabilitation through treatment. 23:0023 minutes. Veronica Callahan sat in front of Judge Stephanie Boyd begging for probation.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting. Probation, they're saying he works 14 hours. If he provides proof that that's his actual work schedule, are you all able to allow him to report by Zoom? All right, so what I'll do is I'll do 8 years deferred adjudication. I'm going to put Zoom with an asterisk by it. And then the times that he definitely needs to report in person, then he can report in person. I know he has to report for the first time in person. After that, if you'll allow him to report by Zoom. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, Judge.
All right, there's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. There is taken in consideration 2025 CR 014681 and 2025 CR 013676, restitution to DPS of $180. There's to be no possession of firearms or ammunition. There's to be no firearms or ammunition in the residence. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. TAP evaluation out of custody, follow Rex. However, if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, start with supportive outpatient treatment. There is to be 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order the parenting classes. Once that's completed, community service hours will be deemed satisfied. This address that there's to be no contact with, is that your home address now or no?
No, Your
No,
Honor.
Your Honor.
All right, there's to be no contact with the previous address that has been stated on the record. Uh, there is a $1,000 fine, and that will be probated. Probation, is there anything else? Thank you. I keep forgetting that. Regular random UAs are either the patch, and your attorney will explain to you the difference.
Yes, Your Honor.
But most importantly, one costs more than the other. Anything else, probation? State, anything else that you would request?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Stay on the right track.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
if I may, Your Honor, I see that you admire a bunch of flowers. I did an electric job, real close to that area right there. They have these exotic flowers. They have all these Hawaiian flowers. I think you would love them.
I
But
do.
go and take a look.
And I see in their card, they already have a bird of paradise.
Mhm.
There you go, Judge.
I would love to grow a bird of paradise, but you sort of need conditions that are more tropical.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna see if I can get a greenhouse and put it in there. Someone, my mom sent me a bird of paradise once. They're just gorgeous.
They are.
They're
Yeah.
really nice. But yes, go take a look. I'm pretty sure you'll find a ton
Yeah.
of things.
Should I go and say, hey, I should get a discount?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, you should get a discount for referral.